Investor Ideas, Climate Change and Clean Tech podcast, following climate news and solutions.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of InvestorIdeas.com Climate Change and Clean Tech podcast. I'm Taylor Van Zandt, the host of InvestorIdeas.com Cannabis podcast as well, and your host of today's edition of Climate Change and Clean Tech. Today we're looking at rising gas prices and the push towards electric vehicles. The national gas price average in the U.S. increased 5 cents to $2.74 a gallon and is 8 cents more than the same time last year, according to data from TSLA. The rate is 28 cents higher versus a month ago, and this data alone is already a month out of date. Since then, the gas has continued to rise above analyst expectations and shows no signs of slowing down. You can read a few pieces which describe this trend in more detail from USA Today, Global News, and CDC, but really, they all say the same thing, which is that gas prices are rising faster than anticipated, and both Canadian and U.S. governments are seeing some serious pushback and a demand for lower gas. While it would be ideal for policymakers to step in and solve this problem, that outcome seems unlikely and unrealistic this summer, and this summer gas prices are expected to continue to rise even higher. Here at Investor Ideas, we think this is bullshit and that we can do better. In Canada, and specifically BC, there is some hope for the average driver, as the government has, starting today on May 1st, began offering a series of rebates for EVs. For buying an electric vehicle under $45,000, you can be afforded a $5,000 rebate, and for trading in your old gas car again, another $5,000. And this is not the only rebates available. There are continued offers that you can read more about in those articles that I mentioned, but the main idea is to incentivize a switch to electric vehicles. Global News also did a series of pieces on this, describing how this created a massive demand for electric vehicles and how car dealers are actually struggling to keep up with the supply. So what are some of the electric vehicle companies on the market today? Well, here in BC, we have Electric Mechanica Vehicles Corporation, trading on the NASDAQ as Solo, a designer and manufacturer of electric vehicles who was recently awarded a patent in China by the National Intellectual Property Administration for the design of its proprietary battery cartridge. The patent, Chinese design number ZL201830277724.X, is valid for 10 years from the filing date and covers Electromechanica's proprietary battery cartridge design that is integral, featuring underlying the company's flagship Solo electric vehicle. The patent in China expands upon previously successful battery cartridge patent registrations in Europe, Japan, and Canada, and with another patent pending in the US, further strengthening international patent protection for the unique design. We're pleased to announce this very important new patent win in China, growing our global intellectual property portfolio to 25 invention and design patent assets that have been filed or issued, said Kerry Kroll, CEO of Electromechanica. This patent continues to validate the amazing work that our R&D team does every day. We envision our intellectual property portfolio to play an increasingly important role in the future, providing us with an exciting strategic advantage over new entrants to the space. I look forward to providing our shareholders with further updates as we continue to strengthen our patent portfolio. So Electromechanica Corporation may be one of the smaller companies you haven't heard of, but I'm sure you've heard of TSLA Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ as TSLA. So they are well aware of the Canadian rebates being offered right now, focusing on a workaround which actually allows for customers to take advantage of these incentives. The Tesla Model 3 has been too expensive to qualify for the federal EV incentive in Canada due to the restrictions of the Canadian government, which has put a price point on it of under $45,000. So, apparently Tesla is changing the Model 3 standard range to a software-limited 93-mile range vehicle that starts at $44,999, just $1 under the $45,000 limit set by Canada. And since its base price is under $45,000, then the standard range plus also qualifies for that $5,000 incentive. Tesla has also been a great topic of discussion on another podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, which has already featured Elon Musk, and just yesterday actually featured Rich Benoit, who has made his name by refurbishing and rebuilding damaged Teslas, a very unique and thrifty concept for these high-quality, expensive cars. To check out either of those interviews, and you can click the links attached for Rich Benoit or for Elon Musk. Another big car company is General Motors Company, trading on the New York Stock Exchange as GM, who recently confirmed its entry into the electrical vehicle industry in its quarterly earnings call earlier today. As their first release, the company confirmed that it's looking to make electric vehicles and pickup trucks. According to Electric One magazine, GM CEO Mary Barra said that the company is interested in creating an all-electric future as the company starts to make electric vehicles, including pickup trucks. However, Barra didn't mention any other details such as development timelines, release dates, or even the new vehicle's name. Previously, the CEO noted that they're going to make an electric truck that's going to compete with Tesla's trucks. Currently, Tesla's truck progress on their trucks is still far from mass production. The Tesla Semi does have a few units out there, but the first batch of semis are strictly for company use. Meanwhile, the futuristic Tesla Blade Runner pickup truck has yet to receive any new updates outside of its design or seeing the pictures of it. So GM is in actually a strong position to overtake Tesla on the electric vehicle truck release and announcement. With gas prices continuing on an uptrend through the summer, it's time to start looking for alternatives, and it looks like the EV market is finally ready to take off.
That's all for today's podcast. To hear more podcasts, visit the podcast page at investorideas.com, www.investorideas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, and Google Play Music. To help, you can follow Track CleanTech Talks. InvestorIdeas.com has created directories of publicly traded companies in the sector. Visit investorideas.com/membership to learn more. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the investorideas.com website at investorideas.com/about/disclaimer.asp. And this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment.